The history of Nigerian politics has prominent place for big names. Great Zik of Africa, the Sardauna of Sokoto, Sir Ahmadu Bello, Chief Obafemi Awolowo. These big names are, however, consequences and not causes. They are the consequence of a commitment to a struggle to move Nigeria from being a people responsible to a foreign and absentee sovereign to a people responsible to themselves and their indigenous leadership. They are the consequence of committing to moving their people away from being treated as an extractive industry to being accountable to a local authority that takes power in order to care. It is the people who made them big, and because of the people, they got mandate.
In the north, they have people they respect. In the west, they have people they respect. Likewise in the south, So that's why if you see people like maybe somebody like Governor Wike or even people like Obasanjo, IBB, and the rest of them, those people you can't wish them away. They still have influence in this country, but at the same time, they also know that the people matters. And if you look at the recent election so far, you can see that the people's voice is becoming more powerful than even individuals. Like what happened in Osun State. Even an incumbent governor that has all the state resources was defeated.
Who wins elections in Nigeria today? What makes political parties in Nigeria strong today? If you want the answers, then look towards the political parties. In 2014, a herd of big names broke away from the People's Democratic Party, joined big names from other political parties to form the All Progressives Congress, APC. Why did these big names come together, and to what were they committed? Power must return to the North. In other words, the personal interest of the big names, power. Again, in the run-up to the 2023 general elections, the big names are popping up.
In the past, a few people would come together, those with heavy economic powers, Funny enough, these are people who are living large on the strength of what they have helped themselves with when they had the opportunity of leading the country in various capacities in the past, You example, I don't want to come out directly to say these are people who have stolen our money and all of that, but the truth is that they have, financial muscle to determine who leads at every level. It has been a small group, of kingmakers. The people are on one side with their PVCs, then a few people would come together to say, the next president of Nigeria is Dr. Agbo Major and all of that.
The Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has become implacable. He holds his party, People's Democratic Party, guilty of committing an unpardonable sin of denying him access to power. But he is a big name. He is committed to funding the party. He is committed to even sharing of opportunities accruing from grabbing power. Where do the people feature in Wike's big name status?
When you're looking for something, you need not to wave aside anybody. You have to welcome everybody. Whether the person is useless or useful, you have to welcome the person because you need that power. By the time you get that power, you can now say, okay, maybe this person is important or is not important. But as it is right now, politicians are looking for any big name or any gladiator that can swear vote to this or influence votes. People like Wike in the South, he has a lot of control over the political structures in other states, in South, in River State especially. So he can't wish away those votes. So anybody that would influence votes or mobilize voters for you, you have to bring the person to the table.
Last week, the big names went to London holding meetings. Olusegun Obasanjo, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Atiku Abubakar, Samuel Otom, What warranted their meetings, and why did the meetings become a national issue? Was it because of a commitment to the people and their welfare, moving away from making Nigeria an extractive industry so that the people can feel the impact of governance? No, it was because the big names were considering how to relate in order to take power. So, where does the people's interest determine when and who becomes the big name? Again, last week, Ibrahim Shekau returned to the People's Democratic Party, a party from which he defected to the New Nigeria's People's Party, NNPP. PDP celebrated because a big name had returned to their fold. But because of who should a party roll out the drums? Again, as Nigerians bemoan the state of their nation and life becomes less rewarding, should the list of big names in Nigeria be getting shorter or longer?
The power to choose who leads at whatever level now is now, gradually shifting to the people, because now, as we speak, it is you, your PVC, the Beavers machine, and then the results. Okay. So the power to elect, the power to determine who leads at any level now is gradually shifting to the people. And I can tell you that at the end of the 2023 general election, I'm not saying we're going to have it quite perfect in 2023, but at the end of 2023, the direction will be very clear to Nigeria. So 2027, the people would have taken over to themselves, the ordinary people, the absolute powers to determine who leads them. In those developed democracies like that of the US, those who determine who rules them, who are the political capitalists, they don't exercise those rights or those privileges to their own personal advantage. They exercise those privileges to the advantage of the ordinary people. The reverse is what we have in Africa, especially in the case of Nigeria.
The failure of governance in Nigeria is the failure of individual personalities in Nigerian politics. To have the list of big names elongating in the face of an increasingly impoverished population is a contradiction, and to celebrate the coming of such big names into political parties is to admit that Nigerians are yet to establish why a political party should win an election. Marvelous Obama for the Signature Show.